Well, hello, it's Friday. It's tips and lessons learned. Welcome to my world. This is Colleen Les Frost, and it is in Studio C that we are at. And it is a wonderful night. Dad and he just went down for a nap. And I would like to talk to you tonight about something kind of exciting. Well, it was kind of funny because tonight I had my neighbor woman, Diana, she came over, something exciting for the garden. I have added a basketball hoop, an arcade game, the shooter. So we have now a activity in the garden. I can't wait to show my dad. He's going to kind of flip out. But we need an activity in there. And when Janet comes, we're going to have some fun. So this will be fun for you to show you. Anyway, it's always something new here at my dad's. Anyway, something else happened today that I think we need to share. I had a guest. There is a quote that I found that there is no exercise better for the human heart than reaching down and lifting someone up, by John Holmes. Today was a special day. I had a visitor, my cousin Janelle. She's a teacher, but she has also been a constant in my life since day one. It's Friday's Tips and Lessons Learned, and if you are lucky enough to be close to a teacher, the ones in your life that reach down and lift you up, we can all learn from them. I have been blessed to learn from her. She has been a diamond in my life, and today I'm lucky enough to call her my friend. She's a rock, and I would like to welcome you. If you are on this internet, I hope that you can slow down and rest here a while. Make this be your traveler's rest. Each day I promote living life on purpose, with something each day to ponder, and hopes to inspire you to celebrate history and create more. Today I'm your coach, your head coach, and I'm on a mission while in remission, celebrating history and creating more. This is going to be something good, I promise. You know, when he said that there's no exercise better for the human heart than reaching down and lifting something up, today was a special day. A year ago today, I had to read my mother's eulogy, a final goodbye in front of everyone. And during COVID, it was kind of a unique time. At this particular time, COVID had lifted, so people were able to have a funeral. And of course, I was real nervous. I had put arrows and dots and lines, and it was just such a shock, obviously. But it was, you're kind of in a fog at this time. The church was full, and the wake was even fuller. And I just remember, as my mother knew, she had a 4-year march towards this. The doctor had given her 1 year, and she made it 4. And her and I were very busy. I had lived here. At that time, I lived here pretty consistently for 5 years. And it was a wonderful time. And I just remember, the older parents, they're pretty versed on preparing for these final days, and my parents were a lot of fun. And I just remember going up the steps, and as they were planning their funerals, I would go upstairs to Mother's closet, and I'd come down with these get-ups that I would, as we plan her eulogy and stuff. And I would go up to her closet and get up with her jewelry on, and I'd come down with these get-ups on, and wild jewelry and wild outfits and wild hats. And I'd come down and I'd start with her eulogy, and she'd sit in that chair and just cackle and laugh, and she'd just go into orbit, and she'd say, "You're not going to say that, are you?" And of course, my favorite in hers was this Ezra Pound, some deep thinker. And so one of our favorites that her and I just loved, I would say, "Mother, this is it. You're going to have a wicker casket. It's going to be draped with cabbage roses from end to end. Of course, Dad would fog over at this point. He'd say, I'm going to bed. Oh, Lord. And here's how it would go. I'd stand in the middle of the floor. I'd have feathers cascading over a hat. Actually, shall we? Let's get into it. Her and I's favorite hat. This is the one I wore to Italy when they kidnapped me and took me to Italy. It's in the book. I'm an author. Oh, folks, you're going to love my book. It's at the editor's in New Jersey. Mother, I love my mother. Beauty shall never be presented explained. It is marvel and wonder. And in art we shall find these doors first. Marvel and wonder. And coming through them, a slow understanding. Slow, even though it be a succession of lightning understandings and perceptions, as of a figure in mist that still and ever gives to each his own right of believing, each after his own creed and fashion. Now you see, dear child, Mother and I completely understood this. Oh dear, my mother was my person. And no, this did not make the eulogy. But it was our favorite saying. Anyway, instead, I was able to talk about her through her family and how she was in everyone. She was actually a part of everyone, and she was able to reach down on all of us each and every day. She lived, and she would lift us up day in and day out. And I told her how I would find the rare rocks who would become diamonds in our lives, who would help me on our special day. And we did that. I had Janet, who led the service, and oh, what a beautiful job she did. She was so reverent, just like Mother wanted. You know, Janet came a few times before COVID started, and she prayed with Mother, and it was Janet that Mother wanted, and it just could not have been done without anyone else but Janet. And it's just going to be a keepsake the rest of my life. So I'm just so grateful. And then I had asked a new friend, Kelly, to sit with me and Adam as our part of our family, and she did. And I was just grateful. And then my parents' dear friend, like a family member, Wayne and Marge, they sat in the front with us. And of course, our immediate family was there, and our many cousins, Chubb and Sharon, reverently sat with us. And Bonnie, of course, the last on my mother's side. And Greg and Susie. There are town caretakers when people die, they take care of them. You know, it's funny, Janet's brother is the caretaker of the dead when they die. And he's a special person. He put the nightlight in Mother's casket. He let me keep Mother here for many hours. It's just, these are special, special people. Those little things that you never forget. But these are tough days. Man, I never dreamt that it would be this year. So many blessings. So many blessings. Well, then I picked this cousin, this Janelle. I had to think of somebody because I was in a fog those 3 days. Those 3 days. Oh, those 3 days that you have to let them go. I picked Janelle for that wake to greet all those people. And Greg said that there was more people there than he's had in funerals for many years. And she did. She greeted everyone. And I picked her because she has just a way of greeting everyone whether she knows them or not. And she just welcomes them, lifts them up, and it's a gift. And so I picked Janelle to greet everyone for us. And she was so busy there, and I needed her. And it was endless rows of guests cascading the whole 4 hours, and she lifted them up for us, for my mother. A family is a family who loves you when you need them. And on this day, June 11th, 2021, Janelle came to see me today. She reached down and she lifted me up. And she has been doing this to hundreds of students her whole life, her whole adult life. However, I've known her my whole life, and she's been this way her whole life. She is a diamond, and my mother was right. She is rare. I have rare people. Tonight, I think I will exercise reaching down and lifting those I meet up. You know, becoming a preservationist, it takes time. And today was kind of exciting because I had a phone call from Staples. We have a 1907 all original opera house. And now that these final days of this year are coming to an end, I think I'm ready to spring ahead and bounce, bounce, bounce forward. It's been quite a journey, and I thank you all for letting me journey with my 7 days to kind of teach you how I am going to keep this journal alive. But now it's time to move forward and introduce the other pieces. So my equipment's here, I'm learning how to run it, and I've got my podcast room set up, and I will be slowly introducing these pieces. I'm waiting for my artwork. It should be coming, I hope, pretty soon. Other than that, I just want to thank you. But I did get a phone call from Staples, and I booked my first tour for August 16th with a group of Peace Corps. He's 70 years old, and he's got just a host of people coming into the Timber Hotel in Staples. And so that was really an exciting phone call today for me, and I'm looking forward to that. So becoming a preservationist takes time. Thank you for spending your time here. Teaching balance 7 days a week was taught to me, and it was taught to my son, and everyone has plans for their own 7 days. These are just what I do in my 7 days. So I know everyone handles their loss their own way, and I'm just sharing mine with you. So let's engage here. What do you do on your 7 days? And how do you spring ahead? And who lifts you up? And who are your diamonds? And how do you celebrate your history? And how do you create more? What is your purpose? And how did you find your purpose? And let's engage. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your story. It matters. Find your rocks, grab a ball, and build a team. Look for a feather. Hope is all around. Jump, bounce, and fly with me. 7 days on purpose. I teach it, preach it, and repeat it with a balance. Like, share, and remember, Fridays are for those who dare. Be avant-garde and be rare. And remember me. Sincerely, Coco, Coach Colleen, number 33.